Right, okay, so my number 2. Right, have you come across this? So this was a blog post shared by Adam Boxer. The tick trick. Have you seen this? Right, I'll tell you now, you're going to love this. You are going to absolutely love this. So Adam, I think I'm going to say he's the best current writer on education, kind of theory and stuff. I think he's brilliant. And I read this and I thought, this is gold, right? So he obviously writes things in a science context. And I always have my kind of maths hat on, but I think this can work really well. So the idea is, so Adam's obviously a big mini whiteboard user. I'm a huge mini whiteboard user. But the point he makes is, well, this is my interpretation of it. And I'll put a link to the original blog post in the show notes for this, that if you do like a whole class check for understanding on mini whiteboards, and it's just like all you're interested in is the final answer, then it's pretty easy. So if you've got 2/3 on your board, you've got it right. Fine. Everyone's happy. But if you want to check for understanding of a multi-stage kind of procedure, where actually each line of working is really important, you don't just want to emphasize that final answer, but the kids focus in on it. So let's say a good example of this might be something like expanding double brackets in maths. So, you go through hold up your mini whiteboards. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Right, let me grab a board here. Right, so I can see Emma this is on Emma's board, and no matter as a teacher how much you talk them through line by line, all the kids are interested in is, have they got that same final answer as Emma's got? And what that may mean is a couple of things. One, they may have made a mistake early on, but they can't diagnose where it is because all their attention's on the final answer. So that's a bit problematic. So then they're relying on you to try and figure it out, and you may have loads of kids in this similar situation to deal with. Or just for kind of pragmatic reasons, it may be to get method marks in an exam. It's actually really important that they put line 1 exactly like this, line 2 exactly like this, and so on. So what Adam says, and it's such a simple idea, is he calls it the tick trick. He says, when you check for understanding on a multi-step question, and you get all pick a kid's board as the kind of example thing, you say to the kids, right, look at line 1 here. If your line 1 is exactly the same as this line 1, tick it. And everyone then has an explicit action that they have to do. Okay, let's look at line 2. If your line 2 starts with a 6, give it a tick. Anything else, no tick, because it has to start with a 6. Kids go and tick it. And you can talk them through each stage of the solution, and they're forced then to have a look at theirs and compare it. And I've tried this. So Adam wrote about this a couple of weeks ago. I've tried this in a couple of classes. Ollie, it's a game changer, this, It sounds so simple, but it's a game changer. It makes the kids buy so much into this kind of the kind of reflection phase, and it picks up on so many problems that otherwise might have gone kind of undone. So I'll tell you how I've started using this, and I'll shut up and let you reflect on this. So this was also partly influenced by you as well, Al. So when I read Tools for Teachers, it compelled me to go back and listen to your episode that was all about the we do. Do you remember that one with the lady? I think, give me the lady's name.
Anita Archer.
Anita Archer, yeah. So I always used to cut out the we do. I was always an I do, then you have a go at this one. But having listened to that episode, I do a lot more we do now. So what can work well for me anyway when I do this kind of multi-step procedure is let's use expanding double brackets as an example. I'll do a model of one, and then I say, okay, right, we're going to do the we do now. So get your mini whiteboards. Here's the question. Right, just write me down your first line. All I want. What's the first line of work? And everybody on your boards. 3, 2, 1, hover it. Okay, fine, that's looking good. Okay, right. All I want next is your next line. That's all I'm bothered about. Nothing else, just your next line. Write it down, blah, blah, blah. And again, during this, I'll be cold calling and getting different responses from kids. But crucially, I'm checking for understanding line by line. But then when I do the second example, I'll say, okay, now I'm going to give you one. And I'll just, again, this is a whole other conversation, but I'll use a bit of variation theory here. I'll literally just change one thing from the we do to the you do. And I'll say, okay, now I want you to go from start to finish. So on your boards, do, the 3 lines, start to finish, hold up your boards. Right, now we're going to do the ticking. So first line, does it look like this? Exactly like this. If so, give it a tick. So this idea of kind of the we do, assessing for understanding each phase, but then using this tick trick when their kids are being a little bit more independent and doing a few more steps on their own, Ollie, it's changing my life, this, for doing worked examples, you know, because you've got all the mass participation. It's quick, it's speedy. You're checking for understanding all the time. The kids are being taking a bit more accountability for their own actions and so on. So, yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. So the tick trick. What do you think of that?
That's great, Craig. Absolutely love it. And I will be using that in my next lesson, 100%. I was just thinking what that might look like if we were to apply it to other subjects. And I was thinking it's probably looking at kind of success criteria.
Yeah, I think so.
So, you know, in, I don't know, psychology, where it's like a written answer would be like, okay, here's the first thing you needed to do to get the mark. You needed to use this key piece of vocabulary. Tick if you got that.
Yeah,
bang.
That's
blah, 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 and so on. But yeah, super powerful. Love it. And couldn't agree more. Like, Adam is a massive brain and super creative. And he just comes up with a lot of original stuff.
He does.
When it comes to teaching, that embodies the principles that we all hold dear, but often makes it just a little bit more practical, and always with a catchy name as well.
Yeah, he's good.
Hat off to Adam.